Welcome to my channel, Most Worth Coins WC, where history lives in your hands. If you're passionate about rare coins, vintage currency, and the fascinating stories behind them, you're in the right place. Don't forget to watch the full video, share it with your fellow collectors, like and subscribe to stay updated with more valuable content every week. So without further ado, let's get started. The 1994 P. Jefferson nickel is a fascinating piece of modern American currency, quietly carrying over half a century of tradition, history, and symbolism within its modest 5-cent denomination. As part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, this coin was minted at the historic Philadelphia Mint, as identified by the small P mint mark located to the right of the date on the obverse side of the coin. Though everyday in appearance to the casual observer, this coin represents an important link to the ideals, contradictions, and history of the United States, a living artifact of American numismatics, blending artistic heritage with political symbolism. On the obverse, or front side, of the coin is a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson's depiction on the nickel was designed by Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor who won a national competition in 1938 to redesign the nickel, replacing the earlier buffalo nickel that had circulated since 1913. Schlag's original portrait was based on an 18th-century bust created by the French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon, an image historically regarded as one of the most accurate likenesses of Jefferson from life. Above Jefferson's head appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," a declaration of national faith and principle that first appeared on American coinage during the Civil War and became mandatory on all U.S. currency by the 1950s. To the left of Jefferson's portrait is the word liberty, rendered in a flowing, cursive script that echoes the signature styles of the 18th century. Immediately following liberty is the year of mintage, 1994, denoting when the coin was struck. To the right of the date, one finds the small, capital letter P mint mark, indicating its production at the Philadelphia Mint, the first federal mint facility established in the United States in 1792 under the authorization of President George Washington. The reverse side of the coin, or tail side, features a detailed depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's famous estate located near Charlottesville, Virginia. Monticello, meaning Little Mountain in Italian, was designed by Jefferson himself, reflecting his deep appreciation for classical architecture and Enlightenment ideals. Construction of the house began in 1769 and continued throughout Jefferson's lifetime, with numerous additions and modifications influenced by Jefferson's studies of ancient Roman, Palladian, and French neoclassical architecture. The top of the reverse appears the phrase E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. This national motto, first proposed for the Great Seal of the United States in 1776, reflects the union of the original 13 colonies into a single nation and the enduring idea of unity and diversity. Beneath this timeless motto lies the neoclassical facade of Monticello, its domed roof and colonnaded portico rendered with careful detail, representing both Jefferson's intellect and the complexities of his legacy as a founding father, architect, philosopher, and slave owner. Directly beneath the image of Monticello is the name Monticello, clearly inscribed, while below it sits the denomination 5 cents, denoting the coin's value. Along the bottom rim curves the inscription, United States of America. Completing the formal, symmetrical design, the 1994 P. Jefferson nickel is composed of a cupronickel alloy, a mixture of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives the coin its silvery appearance and durability. The coin weighs 5 grams, measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain, smooth edge without any reading or serration. In total, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 453,420,000 Jefferson nickels in 1994, making it a common issue. In circulation, though pristine, high-grade specimens remain sought after by collectors. Numismatically, the 1994 P. Jefferson nickel holds a special place for several reasons. Firstly, it belongs to the final decade of Felix Schlag's original Monticello reverse design before the nickel would undergo significant redesign as part of the Westward Journey Nickel Series 2004-2005 and the subsequent 2006 redesign by Jamie Franke. Secondly, while most 1994 P nickels are common in circulated grades, collectors prize examples in mint state 65M, 65 and higher, particularly those displaying full steps FS on Monticello's front staircase. Full steps refers to the clarity and sharpness of the steps leading to Monticello's entrance on the reverse. Because striking quality can vary, nickels with fully visible, uninterrupted steps, typically 5 or 6 complete lines, are far scarcer and command higher premiums. The coin's design elements evoke America's founding values and ideals. In God We Trust reflects the nation's religious and moral heritage, while E pluribus unum celebrates the enduring concept of unity in diversity. the image of Jefferson, a statesman who penned the phrase, "All men are created equal," and his home, Monticello, simultaneously represent American Enlightenment ideals and the historical paradoxes of a nation founded on liberty that also tolerated slavery, a contradiction embodied in Jefferson's own life. The Jefferson nickel series itself is one of the longest continually running coin series in U.S. history, with only subtle modifications to its design until the early 2000s. First introduced in 1938, the coin replaced the beloved Buffalo nickel, ushering in an era of modern American coinage with neoclassical influences. Felix Schlag, the artist responsible for the Jefferson nickel's design, was an immigrant who came to the United States from Germany and whose work on the nickel became one of the most enduring in American coinage history. While the 1994 P. Jefferson nickel is abundant in circulated condition, uncirculated examples with sharp details, attractive luster, and minimal contact marks are valued by collectors. The coin's mintage figures place it among the more common issues of the decade, though it remains a key piece for those assembling complete date-tanned mint mark collections, especially in high grade. From a broader historical lens, the 1994 P. Jefferson nickel serves as a tangible connection between the United States' founding principles and its modern economic and social landscape. It circulated in a year marked by political, technological, and cultural change as the nation moved toward the turn of the millennium. Millions of Americans would have handled this coin in everyday transactions, largely unaware of the symbolism and history contained within its modest 5-gram frame. As with all coins, each Jefferson nickel tells a story. The 1994 P issue continues to remind collectors and historians of the power of coinage to preserve national memory, embody collective ideals, and offer an enduring connection to the figures and moments that shaped American identity. Though often overlooked in favor of rarer or more dramatic coins, even a single 1994 P. Jefferson nickel carries within it the echoes of independence, contradiction, aspiration, and continuity, elements that define the nation it represents. The 1989 P. Jefferson nickel is a small but historically significant coin that embodies both the artistic heritage and the enduring principles of the United States of America. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P Mint on its obverse, this coin is part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series. First introduced in 1938 to replace the earlier Buffalo nickel design, the Jefferson nickel was created to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and one of the most influential founding fathers in American history. The obverse, or head side of the coin, features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, based on a marble bust sculpted by Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1789. The portrait was designed by Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor who won a national competition, held by the U.S. Mint in 1938, to redesign the nickel. Above Jefferson's head appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," which has been a staple on American coinage since the mid-19th century, and officially adopted for all U.S. currency in the 1950s. To the left of Jefferson's portrait is the word liberty, followed by the date, 1989, representing the year of minting. A small P mint mark appears just beside the date, signifying its production at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically important mints in the United States. On the reverse, or tail side, of the coin is an image of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's famous Virginia estate, which stands today as a national landmark and a symbol of his architectural vision, intellectual pursuits, and complex legacy. The rendering of Monticello on the nickel was also created by Felix Schlag, though it was modified slightly after his original submission to better capture the building's neoclassical style and its harmonious symmetry. Centered above the depiction is the Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning out of many. This traditional motto of the United States reflects the idea of unity among the original 13 colonies and later among the diverse peoples and states that would make up the nation. Beneath the image of Monticello are the words Monticello and the denomination 5 cents. The phrase United States of America is curved along the bottom rim, completing the formal design of the reverse. The 1989 P. Jefferson nickel is composed of a cupronickel alloy minus 75% copper and 25% nickel and weighs exactly 5 grams. It has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters and a plain, smooth edge without any reading or pattern. While millions of these coins were minted for circulation, specifically 643,372,000 at the Philadelphia Mint in 1989. A small number of higher proof nickels were produced that year at the San Francisco Mint, identifiable by the S Mint mark and typically featuring mirror-like surfaces with sharp, frosted details. From a numismatic perspective, the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel is not considered particularly rare, as its mintage figures were substantial, and most examples in circulated condition hold nominal value above their face value. However, uncirculated specimens, especially those in pristine mint state 65 ms 65 condition or higher, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch modest premiums among collectors. Exceptional strike characteristics. Full steps on the Monticello, meaning uninterrupted and sharply struck lines on the building's steps on the reverse, and flawless surfaces can elevate a coin's desirability and market value. Historically, the Jefferson nickel series is notable not just for its longevity, but for reflecting key aspects of American values and history. Jefferson himself was a figure of Enlightenment thought, championing ideals of liberty, equality, and intellectual inquiry. Yet his legacy is also fraught with complexity. Due to his status as a slave owner and the contradictions between his personal actions and his public ideals, Monticello, prominently featured on the nickel, stands as a testament to both his genius and the inequalities of his time. The coin's inscriptions convey the core symbols and mottos of American identity. "In God We Trust" reflects the nation's religious heritage and reliance on divine providence, while "E Pluribus Unum" remains one of the earliest and most enduring expressions of national unity amidst diversity. The presence of liberty serves as a constant reminder of the foundational principle upon which the United States was conceived, and continues to evolve. The Jefferson nickel's design remained largely unchanged from 1938 until 2003, apart from minor adjustments to font, relief, and mint mark placement over the decades. In 2004 and 2005, the Westward Journey nickel series temporarily replaced the Monticello reverse with commemorative designs marking the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition, an event closely associated with Jefferson's presidency. In 2006, the U.S. Mint introduced a modernized Jefferson portrait by sculptor Jamie Franke, but retained Monticello on the reverse, thus preserving the central architectural motif of the series. Today, the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel serves as a piece of everyday American monetary history, circulating widely while subtly carrying the story of one of the nation's formative leaders and the enduring ideals of unity, liberty, and faith in a higher power. For collectors and historians alike, even a seemingly ordinary coin like this encapsulates a rich narrative of artistry, politics, ideology, and social complexity. The 1999 D. Jefferson nickel is a small, yet meaningful artifact of American history, a circulating coin whose modest size belies its deep historical and cultural significance. Struck at the Denver Mint in 1999, as indicated by the small d mint mark to the right of the date on the obverse, this nickel belongs to one of the longest-running coin series in United States history, the Jefferson Nickel Series, which was introduced in 1938 to replace the iconic Buffalo nickel. Designed by German-born American sculptor Felix Schlag, this nickel features a combination of numismatic artistry and patriotic symbolism that captures the ideals of the nation it represents. On the obverse front side of the coin is a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and one of the most influential figures in early American history. Jefferson's portrait on the nickel is based on an 18th-century bust created by renowned French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1789. This depiction has graced the front of the Jefferson nickel since its inception and remained largely unchanged through the end of the 20th century, making it one of the most familiar images in U.S. coinage. Above Jefferson's head is inscribed the national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that first appeared on American coinage in the mid-19th century and became standard on all U.S. currency by the 1950s. To the left of Jefferson's portrait appears the word liberty in elegant cursive script, followed by the date, 1999, indicating the year of minting. Just beside the date is the crucial D mint mark, identifying that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado, one of the 4 primary facilities operated by the United States Mint, alongside those in Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. The reverse backside of the coin is dominated by an image of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's neoclassical mansion in Charlottesville, Virginia. Monticello, which means little mountain in Italian, was not only Jefferson's residence but also a reflection of his architectural tastes, his fascination with classical antiquity, and his Enlightenment-era ideals. The building itself, which Jefferson designed and constantly modified throughout his life, is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most visited presidential homes in the United States. At the top center of the reverse is the Latin phrase, "E unum," which translates to "out of many, one." This venerable motto reflects the union of the original 13 colonies into a single nation, a theme that has resonated throughout American history as the country has expanded and diversified. Beneath this inscription is the detailed rendering of Monticello depicted with its iconic domed roof and columned portico. The word Monticello appears directly below the building, while the denomination 5 cents is inscribed further down. Along the lower rim of the coin are the words, "United States of America." Completing the balanced and symmetrical design, The 1999 D Jefferson nickel is composed of a cupronickel alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a distinctive silvery appearance and a slightly heavier feel compared to pennies and dimes. It has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, a weight of 5 grams, and a plain, smooth edge without any reading. The Denver Mint produced a total of 1,228,620,000 Jefferson nickels in 1999, making it one of the higher mintage years for the series, and ensuring that the coin remains a common yet collectible piece for hobbyists today. While the 1999 D Jefferson nickel does not boast particularly rare or valuable varieties in circulated condition, it holds interest among numismatists for its place within the final years of the Felix Schlag original reverse design, which was about to be retired and modified in the early 2000s. In 2004 and 2005, the Westward Journey nickel series temporarily replaced Monticello on the reverse with a series of commemorative designs marking the bicentennial of the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark expedition, two events closely tied to Jefferson's presidency. The 1999 issue therefore represents one of the last years of continuity before this important transitional moment in U.S. coinage history. From a historical standpoint, Thomas Jefferson's presence on American coinage remains a testament to his complex but towering influence on the early republic as the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, founder of the University of Virginia, and advocate for religious freedom and education. Jefferson embodies many of the ideals enshrined in the American experiment, yet, like many figures of his era, his legacy is marked by contradiction. A passionate believer in liberty, who nonetheless enslaved hundreds of people at Monticello and held views on race and class that modern Americans would rightly challenge. Monticello itself serves as a symbol of both enlightenment, achievement, and the moral paradoxes of early American history. Its neoclassical design, inspired by ancient Roman and Palladian architecture, reflects Jefferson's belief in reason, order, and republican virtue. Yet the plantation's history, its dependence on enslaved labor, and its connection to the broader institution of slavery, offer sobering reminders of the complexities beneath the founding narrative of the United States. The 1999 D Jefferson nickel offers collectors an accessible, affordable entry point into U.S. coin collecting, while examples in circulated condition typically hold a value close to face value. Uncirculated specimens, particularly those graded MS65, mint state 65 or higher, can carry modest premiums, especially when exhibiting full steps FS on the reverse. The term full steps refers to the sharply defined, unbroken lines of Monticello's front steps, a detail often blurred or weakly struck on lower quality coins. Coins with 5 or 6 clear, uninterrupted steps are especially prized by collectors for their rarity and visual clarity. Despite its commonality, the 1999 D Jefferson nickel retains its significance as a tangible piece of American history, a coin passed through countless hands, exchanged for goods and services, and quietly carrying the image of a nation's ideals and contradictions. It represents both continuity and impending change, as it marked the end of an era just before the nickel's design would undergo its most significant alteration in decades. For collectors, historians, and everyday citizens alike, the Jefferson nickel remains a reminder of the nation's foundational principles: liberty, unity, faith, and the ever-evolving pursuit of a more perfect union. The 1999 D issue in particular stands at the threshold of the 21st century, a simple yet profound artifact linking the American past with its unfolding future.